It's Raiders Chargers divisional matchup at Allegiant, and it's all in prime time. Can the Raiders improve to 2-0 on Monday night? NFL Network's Manti Te'o gives his thoughts. Plus, the rookie Thornton Jr. tells us why downfield is his happy place. And Raider Nation Radio's Jason Horowitz stops by to break down Max Crosby versus Justin Herbert. The Silver and Black Show starts now. Welcome into the Silver and Black Show, everyone. I'm Theoharis. The Raiders look to go 2-0 for the first time since 2021 on Monday night. Just so happens that was the last year they went to the playoffs. Now, nobody is predicting a playoff run just yet, but under Pete Carroll, it is not far-fetched to predict a turnaround season. And that doesn't happen overnight. It happens by winning one game at a time, week after week, against favored opponents. And that's exactly what the Raiders are asked to do again this week against the Chargers in their home opener. And to talk about it, break it down, we welcome in NFL Network's Manti Te'o. Manti, it's so good to see you. Thanks for being here.
It's so good to see you. Of course. Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Well, it's been fun watching you on Good Morning Football, and I see you had one of our own Talk of the Nation host, Baron Davis, was on Good Morning Football. I'm gonna roll a little clip here. I want you to take a look. Looks like you guys were having fun.
Okay, so what would your touchdown dance move celebration be now? Like now that you've learned some stuff.
I would probably do a body roll. I would do a body roll.
A body roll.
A body roll, not
That's
the
it, bro.
not the worm.
Come on,
the body roll.
You have to. So we're gonna take a step back.
Oh, I'm dancing with you.
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
I'm the ref. Touchdown.
Okay.
Right, you're gonna lean on your right.
Okay.
And have your left toe. Come on, man.
Manti, commit.
Boop, boop.
Commit. This is a we're a defensive unit right now. We just had a
body roll.
Oh,
and you step back. Oh.
And someone has the ball, and then they're like, "Yeah, Baron!"
So you get that body roll.
There he goes. There he goes, everybody. Baron Davis, well done.
Manti, I didn't know you and Baron, you're some big boys. You got the body roll going on. How fun was it to have Baron on the show?
Oh, it was good fun, especially when you have a great like that. We had good conversations about the synchronicities between basketball and football and, you know, what it takes to be an elite athlete. And the number one thing that we talked about was footwork. And I'm glad that me and Baron were able to display that on live television. I think we did pretty good.
You did a great job. I'm excited to talk about this matchup. I know you're a former Charger. This is Monday Night Football. And the Raiders, they moved up this week in every power ranking out there. How do you think the national perception of the team changed after a road win against the Patriots?
Well, I think it changed not too much because I think from our standpoint, the Raiders are a team to be reckoned with ever since they hired Pete Carroll. You understand what he comes with, what's his pedigree. He wins everywhere he goes. And I've said this on live television that I believe the AFC West is the hardest division in all of the National Football League with all the coaches. It's the only division that has all four coaches that have either won a Super Bowl or at least appeared in one. Jim Harbaugh being the only one that hasn't won one. So he understood when Pete Carroll went to Las Vegas what it was coming with, and he brought some guys with him like Geno that understands what standard that he set when he was in Seattle. And so when you have that kind of dynamic and you look on the defensive side, there's a lot of veteran players there. You have Devin White, Jamal Adams, you have Jermaine Pratt, and obviously Mad Max. I love watching Mad Max play this game of football. He plays it the right way. I think a lot of young people could learn how to play football by watching him on the field. But for me, it didn't change too much. Why? Because I knew what they were bringing, and they always bring their best. But when you have somebody at the helm like Coach Pete Carroll, you understand that the product is going to represent that.
All right, so Monday night at Allegiant, what's the number one thing you will be looking for at the start of the game?
Well, number one thing is being able to stop the run. You understand that Coach Jim Harbaugh wants to run the ball. Omar Hampton is that running back that they've leaned heavily on, but they also have Najee Harris, who is just coming back from his injury. But Max Crosby has always been somebody that I've watched. I've said it. Like, he plays the game the way it's supposed to be played, with intensity, with tenacity, and a level of violence that I think we really need in this game. But Geno Smith really has come into his own. It's the Geno Smith that we saw when he didn't right back. You know, it's in Seattle. He's shown a lot of touch on the ball, really good accuracy. And Ashton Jeanty, I think, as that passing game starts to develop a little bit for the Raiders, Ashton Jeanty will be able to have more success in the run game. So there's a lot of excitement surrounding the Raiders. and definitely a good test to go against the Chargers, who just came off a big win against the Chiefs.
That was a big win. When you were watching that game, what was it about Jim Harbaugh's game plan that allowed them to finally win a close one against the Chiefs?
Well, when you see Justin Herbert back there, and Justin Herbert is, I think, somebody who is very he's underestimated in a lot of ways. Justin Herbert he does exactly what needs to be done to win the game. I didn't expect them to pass as much as they did, but it kind of made sense with Keenan Allen coming back over there for the Chargers that they'll rely heavily on him and Ladd McConkey. But being able, again, just like I said about the Raiders, the pass, if you're dominant in that, it's going to force those safeties to stay back. And that's when the run game really, comes into play there. And so if you're able to have a balanced attack, which the Raiders are too as well, that makes it hard for a defense to play against your offense. And I really liked what I saw from the Chargers, my former team, as you said in the beginning of this show. Just the tenacity and the attitude which they played with. I saw them during training camp. They're a big team. And it looked like Joe Ortiz, the general manager, had a type, and he went out and got it. Now it's all about being able to continue that this week.
I think this game's going to be, well, most of them are, but won or lost in the trenches, because whichever team can get the running game going, we're going to see the number 6 overall pick rookie in Ashton Genty and the number 22 overall pick in Omarion Hampton. Who do you expect? Both are trying to emerge. We didn't really see a lot week 1.
Yeah.
Who do you expect to emerge in this game?
Well, obviously, Ashton Genty has that wow factor, but by how he runs the ball, you saw it when he was at Boise State. He's prolific as a ball carrier. Now, with that comes some help from an O-line, and that's where I'm looking at, some of the guys there with Colton Miller, Brock Bowers I don't know if Brock Bowers is playing just yet. I know he's questionable, but being able to have him as a threat for a linebacker, I know it's going to be, it's that cat and mouse game for a linebacker. Do I play Brock Bowers heavy on the pass, or do I be strong on the run? And I think that's where Pete Carroll is going to really kind of drive that in a little bit. But as far as the Chargers, they have a big old line, and I know they're going to start to rely on them a little bit more. So again, to your point, it's whoever can control the trenches, they're going to win that game. So that's be something I'm gonna watch.
You mentioned the Chargers passing the ball a lot, and that receiving core looks so legit. All 3 of the receivers looked good, but the Raiders' secondary also looked legit. And to be honest, that was an area, especially at corner, that we weren't really sure about. What are you looking for in those matchups? How do you think the Raiders' secondary matches up with that receiving core?
Well, I've got a personal relationship with Isaiah Polamalu. I actually helped train him a few years ago when I used to live in San Diego. He being the nephew of Troy Polamalu, who I trained with my last year in the NFL. And him and Talanoa Hufanga were the 2 that would come over to the house, and we would train together. So it's so good to see him be able to get his hands on the ball. And there's a connection between the pass rush and pass coverage. And so it makes sense when you have somebody like 98 Max Crosby pressuring the quarterback like he did, especially against Drake May and all the quarterbacks that he kind of goes up against. It's kind of been the same old tale. When 98's across from you, he's going to get to the quarterback and he's going to harass him the whole game. So it allows your DBs to make a lot of plays, and having Jamal Adams to come in the sub packages, a former safety guy who can come downhill and make some plays, but you're also confident with him in the pass game. I think it puts the Raiders in a really good position against anybody when it comes to guarding the pass. And when you have 2 slot receivers, which Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey are, it's going to be a tough test, but they can do it. And I'm in full confidence after last week and throughout the preseason from what we've seen that they could do it.
Yeah, they have to get the pass rush going, no doubt about it. And you have faith in Max Crosby, but man, I look at the Chargers offensive line and Joe Alt, moving to left tackle. How does that line match up?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Joe Alt is he played left tackle throughout his whole college career. So right when they had that injury, I knew that they're going to move him over just because it makes the most sense. Now you have Mekhi Becton on the other side. Their entire O-line is a veteran O-line. They're big, they're physical. And it's exactly what you want in the AFC West, and it's exactly what you want if you're the Raiders. Like, this is just old school, run the ball downhill, smash mouth football, and that's what we've been accustomed to seeing for so many years between the Raiders and the Chargers. And so it's good for me as a football, I would say, traditionalist, who I like to see that type of football in an era where it's just spread them out and throw the ball. I like to see guys get after it in the trenches and just come down and hit. And I think that's what we're going to expect when these 2 teams face off.
Yeah, but also, I mean, the Raiders can air the ball out. We saw explosive plays.
Yep.
That was the biggest difference from Geno Smith, that big play ability. Do the Chargers, especially the secondary and the pass rush on the Chargers side, have an answer for Geno's ability to go 20 yards or more? He did it 9 times last week.
Yeah. We're going to see. They're the number 1 scoring defense last year. Obviously, with defense, there's going to be some growth pains there. But when you have guys like Derwin James there, that's going to be able to keep everybody in line. You have guys like Alohi Gilman that's back there holding down the fort. I think that you have confidence that they'll be able to pick up where they left off. But again, guys, like a divisional opponent, anything can happen whenever you strap your chin strap up and you know that you're playing against another AFC West team. It means more. And so it's any given Sunday. That's the beautiful thing about this game is you could play great week 1 and then week 2 comes around and you lay an egg. So it's all about being able to get your troops ready, get your guys ready to roll, and whoever can do that the best on game day usually comes out on top.
All right, Manti, give me a bold prediction for this primetime matchup.
I know I'm on a Raiders channel. I'm also a Charger, so I'm not going to give predictions because I don't want to get hate from either side. But I will say this: I predict a very physical game. I predict a traditional rivalry between the two teams, and it's going to be something for us to not only witness this year during the season, but hopefully in the postseason for years to come. So I won't give you a winner or a loser, but I will say I do anticipate a really physical, tough game that I'm going to enjoy.
All right, I appreciate the diplomatic approach when you're inside enemy territory. Hey, Manti, thanks so much for joining us. We love seeing you. Good Morning Football, NFL Network, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. Pacific. And then you can also catch you on Good Morning Football Overtime, 7 a.m. on the Roku channel. Thanks a lot, Manti. We'll see you out there.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Coming up, speaking of big plays, Thornton Jr. exploded on the first drive of his first NFL game. He stops by, and the voice of the Raiders, Jason Horowitz, does too, to get us ready for Monday Night Football.
How about totally obsessed? We created a cocktail that requires 7 unique ingredients. The most important one, 1800 tequila. Just as obsessed with taste and quality as we are. The world's most awarded tequila, proudly poured at the world's best bar.
Every year, millions fly with us at Allegiant because together, we go places. We see old friends and try new things. We laugh. We really like to laugh. And reconnect. We remember. And we wander, which leads to wonder. From how we go, to where we go, to what we do when we get there, we go further, together.
Is there something more fabulous? I need something to chase, something to melt this face. I need Las Vegas. It's too much and never enough. Oh, welcome to fabulous. It's spectacular, outrageous, impossible stuff. You'll stop and yell, welcome to fabulous.
At Cox, we're always a step ahead. There you go. I'll show you. Like, before your basement became Movie Central, we made sure you'd have strong Wi-Fi, even down here. And you can rest easy knowing the price of your plan won't go up for 3 years. Guaranteed. See? He's looking out for you, and so are we, with advanced security that blocks threats on your network. Good boy. Whatever the future brings, Cox will keep you a step ahead. Oh.
The Silver and Black Show is brought to you by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights, only at Allegiant.com. Victory Live, connecting the world of live experiences. And by 1800 Tequila, official partner of the Raiders. Taste is everything. Please drink responsibly. Welcome back. We're getting you ready for Monday Night Football. Raiders, Chargers, and the man who will be on the call, of course, is Jason Horowitz from Raider Nation Radio. And Jason, this is exciting. Raiders are 1-0. They're looking to go 2-0 for the first time since 2021. But let's just look at week one. What did that win show all of us about Pete Carroll and this team?
Well, it showed resiliency. I mean, that word has certainly been used a lot the last few days. It showed that the Raiders, when things go against them, are going to be able to come up with, because Geno Smith is really good. You know, the first half after the opening drive and then the interception, really, they were flat. And the defense was giving up yards left and right. But you go after halftime, Amber, and even with Brock Bowers not playing the whole fourth quarter, Geno Smith was 13 of 15 for more than 220 yards. Like, that's elite. That's not just very good. That's elite quarterback play. And that helped them win a football game that they could not run the football. So I think you got that. Plus, the defense came to life, and you got a lot of really positive things in a team win.
You know what's interesting about what you're just saying, that they weren't able to run the football. Well, now they go to play Jim Harbaugh, a coach that also is trying to run the football. Really wasn't able to do it with his rookie running back. So what do you think is the number one thing that you're going to be looking for early in this game that will indicate that Carroll might have an edge?
Well, what you just said, who's got control of the line of scrimmage? And if the Raiders, I think we all hoped and expected when you draft Ashton Genty that all of a sudden the running game is fixed. But I think we also have to remember that being fixed goes from being 32nd in the NFL last year to like 20th, not first. And so did last week look like they could get there? No. Raiders were under 60 yards rushing, but there were a lot of teams around the league that didn't run the football very well in week one that still came out with a win. So does that look better, right? And I don't mean 2 runs for Ashton Genty that go 8 yards each or 9 yards each. I mean consistently getting 4, 5 yards throughout a good portion of the first half. And if you have that, you know you've got a quarterback who's very dangerous. And now this offense is really dangerous.
It's explosive, that's for sure. I want to look at the other guy that looked explosive, though, on the other side. Justin Herbert, in that game against the Chiefs, he looked like the receiver that the quarterback that they've been threatening is there for 6 years. And then, Quentin Johnston, a receiver, they've been saying he's going to be good for 3 years. Well, we finally saw that. So what are you looking forward to with this matchup, especially with the receivers, Justin Herbert's passing game, and the Raiders secondary?
Well, and Keenan Allen's back too. I mean, Amber, it's he just got back there a few weeks ago, but Keenan Allen was very much a part of the offense that the Chargers put on display in Brazil, and it almost became that. Let's forget about Ladd McConkey, who led the Chargers last year. He was their early second-round pick. So I think they're more explosive than we saw last year because Justin Herbert didn't throw the ball nearly as much last year. And I still don't think he's going to be the guy that threw as much as he did under Brandon Staley, where he was throwing 40 times a game. I still think you're talking about a Jim Harbaugh offense where Justin Herbert, their goal is for him to throw 25 to 30 times a game, maybe use his legs 3 or 4 times a game and spread it out that way. So it's dangerous. Look, Justin Herbert is, in his career against the Raiders, Amber, I did this earlier this week, he has 18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he is 6-3 against the Raiders. So you've got that with a guy in the division that you have to beat. But the caveat to that is the Raiders have beaten him in Allegiant Stadium. Now, one of the games he didn't play the last 4 years, Easton Stick played, but the Raiders are 3-1 at home over the Chargers in the last 4 years with fans in the building. And that one loss was last year, week 18, when it didn't really mean much for the Raiders season. So I do think there is a lot to take into this game, plus Pete Carroll, plus Geno Smith. And Justin Herbert looked outstanding. He looked like the best quarterback in the NFL last week in Brazil. Will he look like the best quarterback in Las Vegas? That's the question.
It's obviously going to come down to the Raiders' D-line and pressure very early on to kind of get Justin Herbert off his game. And we saw that D-line come alive, especially in the second half. But 4 sacks with Max Crosby and company. They were top 3 in the NFL in sacks in week 1. But how does that pass rush match up with Joe Alt, who looks pretty darn good there on the offensive line for the Chargers?
He does. He was supposed to be on the right side, and Rashawn Slater, who they gave a massive contract to during training camp, was supposed to be on the left side. He's Pro Bowl left tackle and deserves that contract. And then a couple days later, he's out for the year with a knee injury. So he looks very good. Joe Alt looks very good. But Trey Pipkins is now at the right tackle spot, and he's a guy that, yes, he's played a lot of tackle in his career for the Chargers, but they moved him inside because they knew they had better tackles last year, and now he's back out playing outside. So there is opportunity here. The Raiders in early seasons against the Chargers, I would not say we've had a ton of pressure over the last couple of years, early part of the season. So yeah, there's a lot here on Max Crosby. I do like the fact that Malcolm Kuntz got going again, though, Amber. I mean, that's a really good sign. He had a sack last week. He's coming back from a confidence perspective. He's coming back from the knee injury that he had last year going into Chargers week 1. So the fact that if you get him going with Max, who was really effective in the second half, his one sack, you didn't even realize it was a sack because he was tracing down Drake May, and Drake May stepped out of bounds like a half yard behind the line of scrimmage. So it didn't really look like a sack, even though it counts as a sack. But the other ones did. And I like the effort that Thomas Booker had too. So there's a lot to like from the defensive line in week 1.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Malcolm Kuntz go even further. Geno Smith.
Really proud of him. I saw his family after the game. They were up by the broadcast booth, and mom and some family members, and they were sporting the 51. They're like, "Why don't you have a 51 jersey on?" I'm like, there's a lot of guys on the team I'm not wearing jerseys on in the broadcast booth. They couldn't have been nicer.
Just great energy. Yeah, we hope to see him have a big season because he deserves it. Geno Smith, no doubt this was the big change in getting a stable quarterback. It's night and day from last year. He was a top 2 passer in the NFL last week. But we know Mike Vrabel came in, kind of did the Belichick thing of we're going to circle one thing, we're not going to let this beat us. And it clearly was the run. And they were able to take away the run from the Raiders. But the passing game, Vrabel couldn't stop. Where do you think Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter starts this week with saying this one won't beat us?
Well, I think the game plan against the Raiders. Now, the negative to that is that it makes it sound like you are saying that you don't think Geno Smith is good enough to beat you, and obviously people around the league know that Geno Smith is good enough to beat you. But I think every team going against the Raiders and Ashton Genty is going to say, we are not going to let them beat us with that. Because I do think there is a difference on a defense when you are giving up 8-yard runs, 10-yard runs, 8-yard runs, 12-yard runs, and how that feels, as opposed to when you give up a 30-yard pass. Now, Geno was doing that all game. He had 9 pass plays of 20 yards or more, which ties the Raiders record from at least 1991 to now. But I do think you feel like when you give that up, a play here, a play there, a couple play here, I think defenses feel like that is correctable. Plus, they got sacks on Geno. When you can't stop the run at all, I think defenses feel like they are done. And so that's the big difference. And I think every defense for the early part is like Ashton Genty is not going to show us why he's the 6th overall pick and ran for 2,600 yards last year.
Yeah. Well, Chip Kelly, you got to give him a lot of credit, though. He had so much success, without much of a run game. Is that play action pass going to keep working even if there is no run game? That was so interesting.
Well, it has to. It has to because you have the threat. I mean, you have the threat of, let me put it this way. I think it will work early in the season because every team thinks that Ashton Genty is going to be able to hit them with a home run ball on the ground. Now, if he keeps getting hit behind the line of scrimmage every play, Amber, that's a different story, right? And only one running back in the NFL last week was touched either closer to or more behind the line of scrimmage on average than Ashton Genty. Ironically, it was Detroit. So and they run the football last year as well as anybody in the league. So maybe there's hope, right? You're right there. You're with the team that knows how to run the football. I think it's going to look different. Chip Kelly is so smart. He's so innovative when it comes to offense, particularly running the football. I think if this offensive line is not as good as some of the others around the league, I have to believe that they are going to come up and manufacture ways to run the football this season with the guy that they have who was on the field for all but like 12 snaps.
Before I let you go, one of the cool things is we saw Michael Mayer out there. Good to see him. And now that we see like 12 personnel working, how dangerous do you think that could be with Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer?
Assuming Brock is, ready to go, right? That obviously changes the equation. We don't fully know the extent of what Brock's dealing with. And as this week got going, Pete Carroll didn't really have an update on Brock's knee issue. So that changes. And I do think Ian Thomas is a capable number 2 tight end. And, last year, Justin Shorter, who moved exclusively to a wide receiver, got some time last year at tight end too. Maybe they bring someone up. So who knows? But if and when Brock is healthy, and assuming that Brock is healthy, he is a dynamic. We saw it 100-yard game. And then who do they go to on 4th down? It's Michael Mayer with the key conversions. And there was a game earlier in the 3rd down inside the 10 where they found Michael Mayer and he got them down to the 3, which I believe is how Ashton scored his touchdown. So I think it's the thing we thought, Amber, last year going in. You know, the conversation was, look, Michael Mayer's going to be great, and here's Brock Bowers as the secondary piece. Now it's, wow, Brock Bowers is a superstar, and Michael Mayer's the secondary piece. So it's the same conversation, but I think with a more established offensive coach to actually make it work.
Real quick, finish the sentence. The Raiders win if.
4 more points than the Chargers.
I like that one. I think that's a good place to start. Jason, we can't wait to hear you make the call. So good to catch up with you. See you out on Monday Night Football.
Sorry for the cop-out. Yeah,
I love
4
it.
more points.
Hey, it's a great place to start. Thanks, Jason. All right, who is number 10? That is a question many Raiders opponents are going to be asking this year. We're going to sit down with rookie wide receiver Dante Thornton Jr. next.
Is there something more fabulous? I need something to chase, something to melt this face. I need Las Vegas. It's too much and never enough. Oh, welcome to fabulous. It's spectacular, outrageous, impossible stuff. You'll stop and yell, welcome to fabulous.
How about totally obsessed? We created a cocktail that requires 7 unique ingredients. The most important one, 1800 tequila. Just as obsessed with taste and quality as we are. The world's most awarded tequila, proudly poured at the world's best bar.
At Cox, we're always a step ahead. There you go. I'll show you. Like, before your basement became Movie Central, we made sure you'd have strong Wi-Fi, even down here. And you can rest easy knowing the price of your plan won't go up for 3 years. Guaranteed. See? He's looking out for you, and so are we, with advanced security that blocks threats on your network. Good boy. Whatever the future brings, Cox will keep you a step ahead. Oh.
Every year, millions fly with us at Allegiant because together, we go places. We see old friends and try new things. We laugh. We really like to laugh. And reconnect. We remember. And we wander, which leads to wonder. From how we go to where we go to what we do when we get there, we go further together.
See if they put this in the air. Geno Smith is going to throw. He rolls to his right. He pumps. He heaves. Wet ball for Thornton. 1-for-1. Comes back. Slides and makes the grab at the Patriots' 39-yard line. Oh, my goodness. The wet football was like a dying duck. But he picks up 36 into Patriots territory to the rookie.
And that is exactly why Raider Nation is excited about Dante Thornton Jr. Hey, it's good to meet you and welcome to the Raiders.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. It's good to meet you, too.
I'll tell you, you get the week 1 win on the road and first drive of the game, your number is called. We've been talking about you in the preseason, and the very first drive, we get to see a great catch, a little taste of what we might see all year. What is your mindset heading into that first game and now your second game?
For me, I was just excited. Like, of course, as a young kid playing in NFL or playing football that's all I wanted to do. So knowing that I'm doing it at the highest level was a great feeling. And then also knowing that I was going into the first game of my rookie season starting, that was definitely a great feeling. But for me, I was more so thinking just going out there, playing ball, and not really trying to make it bigger than what it is, because at the end of the day, it's just football.
Well, not only that first play, that first drive, and then later in the game, your number is called on a key third down play to seal the game, as we saw. What does that mean to you that Chip Kelly is already putting you in those positions where he has confidence?
Like you just said, it means a lot to me knowing that my coaches and then also my teammates are very confident in my ability on the field, and knowing that in a big play situation, they came to me. So that definitely means a lot to me.
Your measurables, everybody talks about them because they're pretty impressive. Not many guys are 6'5" and can run a 4.340, but you come out of track, you have a track background. Yeah. That's why you're so fast. Are you one of those guys that just says, throw the ball up to me, I will come down with it, to Geno Smith, that have that kind of faith?
I would definitely say that's more so my approach with it, for sure. Like, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get it.
When you're 6'5", though, 50-50 balls feel a little bit better. You
Oh,
kinda
for
like
sure.
your chances,
Yeah,
right?
I like my chances for sure. It ain't too many corners that's that height.
That's right. You look at the DBs and you're like, I don't think you're quite as close to me. You seem very confident because it takes confidence to go out and do what you did in the first game. Where does that come from? I mean, I think it's Baltimore, right? No,
No, for sure. I definitely say like my upbringing and like I say I play with a chip on my shoulder and I feel like that helps breed confidence. But the biggest part of my confidence that I get from everything with playing football comes from my teammates and my coaches. Like I said earlier, knowing that there's so many people that are very confident in my ability, it makes it seem like I have to be able to be on the same page with them and believing in myself the same way as they do. Because if I don't believe in myself, it don't matter nothing. So knowing that there's a bunch of people believing in me gives me that confidence.
Yeah, you want to live up to what they believe in you. That's always a good thing. I imagine growing up, you looked at some of like the taller, lankier receivers. Who were some of the guys that you modeled your game off of?
I say the number one was Calvin Johnson and then also Julio Jones. Those were two of my favorite receivers growing up.
Yeah, those are two good ones to go after, 1,000-yard receivers, future
Definitely.
Hall of Famer and Megatron. Take us through the process of getting into a rhythm with Geno Smith. We were talking off camera about a rookie season. People don't realize you finish playing for your college. You go into, the combine, then it's the draft, and then you report to your team. I mean, it's nonstop, and then you're introduced to your quarterback of this is the guy that you need to make things happen with. So what was that process like in this offseason? Where did it start?
It started like once I got drafted. Once I got drafted, I instantly text Geno on Instagram and told him like I'm excited to get out here to get to work, and he sent me his number, and then we've been connecting since then. But then once I got here, Geno and then our quarterbacks coach, they constantly like, we believe in you, and we're gonna make sure we get you on the same page with us that we can make this thing work. So I feel like every single day I'm in Geno's hip pocket. If it's pre-practice and we just throwing the ball, I'm standing right next to him, talking to him, and I feel like it's more than just on the field. Like he finds ways off the field to try to teach me different things that can add into my game or how he wants things to be. So I feel like just having that, we have on and off the field conversation to help make that a lot better for us.
Why is he someone that you want to catch passes from? What is it about his game?
I feel like Geno's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Like he can make any pass on the field. He could throw a ball from the right hash to the far left sideline. He could do everything. So just knowing you have that type of quarterback who's been in cultures of winning, it makes it perfect for me.
I'll tell you, I guess you look around that receiver room and you have to have some confidence. I mean, I always include, Brock and Mike Mayer in there as well because they're pass catchers. What have you learned from some of the veterans like Jacoby and Trey?
I say I learn a lot from him every single day. Like with Jacoby, I look at the way he plays and like how he makes a lot of sudden moves within his route, if it's release or in a route. So I try to look at certain things he's doing. If I feel like I can implement it into my game, I will. Then with Trey, it's more so just knowing like it's the mental side of it. Like when he first got here, he played the same role that I play as the fast guy, the guy that's gonna run deep, and he just tells me like, once you get adjusted to it, it's gonna be easy for you. So he always like making sure that I don't get frustrated with a certain things that he make me do because he was the one that did the same exact thing, so he easily helped me through it.
I feel like you're going to be more than that role, though.
Yeah, that's whatever the team
You got more
needs me to do.
skills than that, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you feel like downfield is an awesome thing, but also being productive receiver. Like, do you like being labeled the downfield guy? Or do you feel like, hey, I could also do other things?
To be honest, everybody outside gonna say what they want to say about it, so I can't change that. And for me, I know for sure that I'm confident in my ability to run deep or run the routes to be a route runner. So whatever they want to think, they can think it, but I know the true thing within.
Chip Kelly's offenses confuse defenses. What was it like learning that?
It was a little tricky at first because it was new and different from my former offense, but once I got the hang of it, I definitely could see like with his past season in college, and I played against him while I was in college, and seeing how his offense worked and how they beat defenses. When being in it, I could see how it worked so well.
I imagine you've kind of envisioned, even as a kid, running out for Monday Night Football. Now you're going to be running out at home as a Raider. What has gone through your head of what do you think it's going to be like?
At the end of the day, I don't want to make it too big and get myself overwhelmed with it. And then at the end of the day, it's still a game. I ain't going to make it bigger than any of the other ones. But, of course, it's definitely going to be some anxiety or excitement with it. I'm going to have some family members here, so that's definitely going to be a great game for me.
Of course. It's pretty cool. It's a childhood dream. You're facing the Chargers defense. They got some dogs over there like Derwin James. I know you're watching film all week of them. What do they do well?
Like it was specifically with Derwin James, he's a very physical defender. Like he gonna put his face on people, he gonna blitz, he gonna play in coverage, but he gonna try to be that defensive bully out there. And then they have a great D-line, they have good DBs, so I feel like it's definitely gonna be a great competitor for us.
How do the Raiders leave Monday Night Football 2-0? What is the number one thing that you think needs to happen as an offense?
Go out there, compete longer than the team that we playing against, and then just playing our brand of ball, like not getting outside of ourselves, trying to do something special. Just the same thing we do in practice this whole week, we gotta go down the field and do the exact same thing with no mistakes.
Dante, thanks so much for stopping by after practice, and I know that Raider Nation is so excited to have you in the Silver
Oh yeah,
and Black.
I appreciate it, definitely.
Coming up, could the Raiders be fighting for a wild card spot in 25? One Super Bowl champ thinks so. Next, on the Silver and Black Show.
At Cox, we're always a step ahead. There you go. I'll show you. Like, before your basement became Movie Central, we made sure you'd have strong Wi-Fi, even down here. And you can rest easy knowing the price of your plan won't go up for 3 years. Guaranteed. See? He's looking out for you, and so are we, with advanced security that blocks threats on your network. Good boy. Whatever the future brings, Cox will keep you a step ahead. Oh.
Is there something more fabulous? I need something to chase, something to melt this face. I need Las Vegas. It's too much and never enough. Oh, welcome to fabulous. It's spectacular, outrageous, impossible stuff. You'll stop and yell, welcome to fabulous.
How about totally obsessed? We created a cocktail that requires 7 unique ingredients. The most important one, 1800 tequila. Just as obsessed with taste and quality as we are. The world's most awarded tequila, proudly poured at the world's best bar.
Every year, millions fly with us at Allegiant because together, we go places. We see old friends and try new things. We laugh. We really like to laugh. And reconnect. We remember. And we wander, which leads to wonder. From how we go to where we go to what we do when we get there, we go further together.
The Silver and Black Show has been brought to you by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights, only at Allegiant.com. And by Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Las Vegas Raiders and the NFL.
Let's get the work, man. All right, sharpen arm. Let's be great today. Beat up. Oh, bananas, Tucker. Pull it. Touchdown, Raiders. The Raiders come to New England, and they head back west with a win.
Time now for one last thing. One win doesn't equal a playoff berth, and while last week's first drive seemed enough reason to believe the Raiders are going to the Super Bowl, we do try to temper our expectations, at least until win number 2. But some big-time NFL analysts see the possibilities. Here's former Seahawk Richard Sherman on Pete Carroll and what he saw from the Raiders.
I think he has all the pieces that he needs to make these plays and continue to make a run. Even with this defense not as technically talented as the rest of the league, he knows what the guys that he needs, and he's going to make it work. And I think the Raiders are going to surprise people this year. I think they're going to be solid. I think they're going to be fighting for that 7th seed.
In the hunt, we'll take that. And if the Raiders are competitive in December, it will most likely be because Pete Carroll and John Spytek brought stability to one position on the field this offseason.
This is why they went ahead and got Geno Smith. The stabilization at the most important position, a lead pipe wielding old head pro, and that's what he's becoming. 362 yards. Holy cow. Like, he can throw it.
Yes, he can. And good teams can change the entire flow of a game with one big play. And the difference between this and last year's Raiders so far is their ability to do that. See Isaiah Pola-Mao's interception or Geno Smith's 9 throws for 20 or more yards. Check this out. Those explosive passes made up 26% of all of Geno's throws. That was number 1 in the NFL. The Raiders know big plays will keep them in any game, and it gives them the ability to come from behind or win a close one. And that is how you compete and start gaining ground in a loaded AFC. That'll do it for us. It's the home opener Monday Night Football from Allegiant. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Pacific. Make sure to catch Raiders Game Day right after the game. I'm Manti Te'o. I'll see you next time.